All right, so it's your boy Town Biz. So, like I said before, you guys wanted me to do more of these lives, so I'm giving the people what they want. So I'm giving you guys more lives. So I'm gonna do this live and then maybe knock down a couple of more videos, and then I'm gonna take a little power nap, and then I'm gonna head to the hotel where the fighters are staying at, and then you know gonna head to the arena and start getting prepared for this fight. So, with that being said, I wanted to talk about this thing with Teofimo Lopez, and Teofimo Lopez, vendetta against, I don't know, maybe black people and black fighters. Listen, not excusing Teofimo behavior and his comments towards black fighters, because I could basically rebuttal that ESPN is not in favor of black fighters, because for years they sat up there and said that Lomachenko was better than Andre Ward and Terrence Crawford, which was a complete lie. Lomachenko was never the number one pound per pound fighter. Never. He was about as number one pound per pound fighter as Rolly Romero. At the end of the day, he was a manufactured white Eastern European fighter that they tried to elevate to number one. And once again, dudes that are pound per pound best fighter on the planet don't lose to guys with double digit losses. Okay. Salido is a borderline journeyman who drives Uber when he's not fighting. And nothing wrong with Uber, because I did Uber. So I'm just saying. But, at the end of the day, I know some stuff, what I've heard behind the scenes, where a lot of this is coming from with Teofimo Lopez. And I'll just put it to you this way. I will respect his privacy, because he's not airing it out for the world to, see. Where Zion Williamson, well, that's a different story. So, with all respect due to, Teofimo Lopez and his father and his family, I'm going to just keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to sit up there and talk about what I've heard went on behind the scenes and where a lot of this come from. But let's talk about his comments towards, Hall of Famer Tim Bradley, who will be inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame officially tomorrow, along with along with Top Rank's Brad Jacobs. I've met Brad Jacobs a few times. I've always spoke to him and stuff. I pretty much talked to everybody with Top Rank. Of course, I'm cool with Evan Korn and a couple other people, Sieta, Katie, and a few other people. I don't think Lee is no longer there. So, and Gabriel, so I'm cool with all of them, and Jordy. So I'm cool with all of them. So, but he's just wrong. First of all, Timothy Bradley has a hell of a resume. Yeah, there were some fights that Timothy Bradley didn't get. Unfortunately, he didn't get a fight with Cotto. He didn't get to fight Sugar Shane Mosley, guys like that. But he fought an undefeated Devin Alexander at the time, who was an up and coming fighter. Now, Devin Alexander did fade out as time went by, but Devin Alexander was a solid fighter because he had a win over Maidana. He came up short versus Amir Khan. But Tim Bradley has a solid resume. He knocked out Brandon Rios. He at the time he fought Lamont Peterson, and he defeated him in a great fight. Tim Bradley didn't accumulate a lot of knockouts, but Timothy Bradley was a hell of a fighter, and he has a victory over Hall of Famer Juan Manuel Marquez. So, to say that Timothy Bradley isn't a Hall of Famer, I think that's absurd. And he is a Hall of Famer. He is flat out, without a shadow of a doubt. Now, it doesn't matter whether you think he lost to Manny Pacquiao all three times. Whatever the case may be, he has a victory over Manny Pacquiao. That's in the history books. That's in his Wikipedia. That is in his box rec. He has a victory over Manny Pacquiao. Just like Jeff Horn has a victory over Manny Pacquiao, and y'all just gonna have to live with it. So when I hear Teofimo Lopez say that Timothy Bradley isn't a Hall of Famer, and then he tries to insinuate, well, he can make a case for, well, listen, first of all, Andre Ward is a flat out Hall of Famer. Andre Ward never lost a fight professionally. And once again, you can talk about that first fight with Sergey Kovalev. Well, Andre Ward won the fight. Once again, you're gonna have to live with it. So, basically stop the cap. He won the fight. He won it fair and square. Okay. And then he stopped Sergey Kovalev in the rematch. So if I was Teofimo Lopez, I would worry about the task at hand that's coming in a few short hours. We probably are about, well, what time is it now? We probably, more than likely, the fight is going to start to around 11:50, maybe 12 midnight Eastern time. So we are, yeah, we are at least a full-fledged work shift away from the opening bell. So we got a long ways to go. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to get a quick power nap in and then maybe head out there around. I keep forgetting that I'm on East Coast time. So yeah, it's just throwing me off, basically headed to an event at 4 or 5 p.m. So, I mean, but nevertheless, he need to worry about what's going to happen with Taylor, because many people believe that he's not going to win that fight and that he's going to suffer a savage beating via the hands of Josh Taylor. But as I said before, anything can happen. It's boxing. One thing you're going to have to see with Josh Taylor, how is he reacting? What's his mental state going into this fight? Because you wonder that Teofimo getting his head with some of his antics. But we'll see. We are about to find out very, very shortly. And like I said, I am looking forward to talking about this fight, discussing this fight, basically discussing everything from the ring walk to what happened during the fight and the aftermath. These two guys truly don't like each other. They really don't. But just getting back to Teofimo's comments, like I said, getting back to this East Coast time beat really tearing me up though. It really, it goes by really quick. So, it goes by really quick when I'm on the East Coast. So versus the West, because in the West it take forever for time to go by. Where the East Coast, time goes by real quick. So, so like I said, with Teofimo, like I said, I'm giving him a pass because one thing you have to understand, I've been covering these fights for around 5 years. I started covering fights, going to fights and covering fights. So I've been doing this for a while. This is I kind of lost count of how many fights I've actually covered. So this is like my 20th fight I think that I've covered. Like I said, I've been doing this for a while. So I know the routine. I know what to do. So that's somebody outside playing some loud music. But I've been doing this for a while, so I know the routine. So one thing you have to understand, you can't go into these events just extremely emotional based off something that you heard a fighter say, because you defeating the purpose. You can ask them questions about it. One thing I learned you can't go in there with a gung ho attitude, because that's just not going to work. You can't go in there no matter how offended you are by what they say. Of course, me being a black man, I was offended by what he said. But at the end of the day, how am I going to help myself and the people that follow my channel by going in there acting a damn fool? No, I'm not going to go full fledged and be a goofball like Barbershop Conversation. Like I said, at the end of the day, Barbershop Conversation, he fucked it up for a lot of people with his antics and his tactics. And he was the ultimate me person. I always thought he was the smartest guy in the room, and basically had no clue. So at the end of the day, I'm treating this situation based on my own merit. Like I said before, I have to deal with these people. You know, I can't give my honest assessment of what I think of the comments being made, but, you know, going in there, basically trying to humiliate these people and stuff. Like I said, ain't nothing wrong with asking somebody and getting some clarity on what they mean, and then you take it from there. I mean, if you go in there talking about, hey, I didn't like what you said and I want to fight you and all that kind of stuff, or I should do something to you, then you all that's going to happen is you're going to get banned and you're going to make a fool of yourself. Because at the end of the day, they want you there and they want you covering their events. So at the end of the day, they're not going to, one thing about Top Rank, they don't put a muzzle. They don't say, hey, man, don't ask him about this. Don't ask him about that. Now, I heard other people have told certain media not to ask certain questions. So, yeah, not going to do that. So, like I said before, Teofimo Lopez is completely wrong. He's off base with his comments about Timothy Bradley not being a Hall of Famer. I could look up Timothy Bradley's resume, but, I'm just thinking of some of the fights that Tim Bradley's been involved in. Tim Bradley was involved in one of the, greatest fights in the last, 10 years with Ruslan Provodnikov, where he basically, went through the fire, fought a barn burner up a fight, and a fight that was unnecessary for him to fight. And I mean, Tim Bradley took a lot of punishment in that fight that he didn't necessarily have to take, but he's been in some wars, flat out. He's been in some wars, and he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. To me, he should have got into the Hall of Fame sooner than I think Tim Bradley got into the Hall of Fame on his third year eligibility. Because, Tim Bradley's been retired for a while, But once again, with that being said, Lopez is off base. And I know there's something inside of him that he's fighting and that he's going through. And like I said before, I have an idea of what he's going through. And at the end of the day, I feel bad for him, but still does give him an excuse to say what he says. But the thing is, like I said, me being a reporter and a journalist, like I said before, I have to go in there with some professionalism, and I try to be professional. Listen, I never said that I was Dan Rather. I never said that I was the other guy's name, Tom Brokaw. I'm not Brian Gumbo. I'm not none of them dudes. I have my own method. I have my own way of how I conduct these interviews. So, never said I was. Everybody have their way of doing things. I have mine. Like I said, I try to stick to the basics. So, like I said before, he's just completely wrong. Tim Bradley is every bit of a Hall of Fame fighter. He worked for it, he earned it, and he should be in there. And it was funny, I told Tim Bradley that he should be in the Hall of Fame, and he got in there. So he'll be inducted in there tomorrow. And by the way, this place where the Hall of Fame is in the middle of nowhere. It is in some part of upstate New York. It's really difficult to get there. So I was like, I don't think so. This place where they're having the Boxing Hall of Fame, I think, is close to Canada. So, and I think for, you know, Tiafimo to say that on the eve of Tim Bradley officially being inducted to the, you know, Boxing Hall of Fame, I just thought that was just, I think that was just low class. And it's kind of funny. His father is trying to clean up his comments. You know, his father was saying that, you know, I have a black son-in-law and I have a black grandbaby. Listen, I don't know how many times, I don't know how many times I got to say this. You know, black people up there. Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know how many times I got to say this. I'm so sick and tired of hearing this stuff about I'm not a racist and I don't see color and all this kind of stuff. First of all, that's a complete bullshit. Uh, don't when you go through traffic, don't they tell you the red light means you need to stop, the yellow means slow down, green means go. So isn't traffic about color? So I hate when somebody say I don't see color. Isn't the stop sign in the streets when they tell you to slow down? They tell you to look for the red stop sign. When you see the yellow bus, that means that is a bus for basically that's a special kind of bus in all circumstances, not for the public, maybe used to charter a football team or people with special needs. So how can you sit up there and say you don't see color? So, I mean, you taught about color in school, so how could you sit up there and say, "Oh, I don't see color"? Okay. Only way you don't see color if you blind. So stop it. I'm so tired of hearing that stuff. Oh man, I'm not a racist because I got it. Listen, I'm not a racist. I got a black car. I'm not a racist. My cat is black. I'm not a racist. My iPhone is black. Okay. How could I be racist when my phone charger is black? Okay. So when I heard when I heard Tia Febo Senior say I have a black I have a black son-in-law and I don't raise my kids to see color. First of all, we taught about color patterns in school. So how could you say you don't see color? That's the biggest crock of shit I ever heard in my life. So stop saying that you don't see color. You got to see color. See how it made people look stupid when they say, I'm just saying, man, I just hate when people try to insult my intelligence by telling me that I'm not a racist. I'm not a racist. I'm not racist. All my Jordans are black. I got a pair of all black Air Force Ones. I'm not a racist. Okay. Yeah. So can we please stop? I just hate when people try to throw that at me and throw that around. Like, yeah, I just think people need to I just think people need to stop it with that. Like, nobody ain't trying to hear that stuff no more. That stuff don't work no more. I done met several, like I said, I done met several white people that were racist as hell. Like I said, I done met white women that were racist, but they loved to sleep with black men. I done met white dudes, white dudes that was racist, but they loved to sleep with black women. So can we please stop that stuff? He said he taught his kid. Look, all right, listen. Like I said before, Tiafimo Senior, he just a character. He funny. Like I said, one thing about him, he gives you, like I said, he gives you material. So, like I said before, I just wanted to shed some light and just basically say to Tiafimo Lopez that I totally disagree with him about his assessment of Tim Bradley not being a Hall of Famer. That's just a load of crap. But anyway, you guys finna take this little power nap, and I'm gonna come back and knock out a couple of videos, if not today, tomorrow, and get ready for this fight. Y'all know I'm gonna give y'all some good behind the scenes footage. I'm gonna try to see what happened with Jermaine Ortiz. If I'm not mistaken, Jermaine Ortiz won't be fighting tonight. He had to pull out of he had to pull out of a fight because something happened. I had met with his team. His team is pretty cool. I had to get up out of there. I was supposed to meet with them, but I needed to get back here. I need to get back because I'm staying in Jersey. So I need to get back to Jersey, give me some rest. But nevertheless, stay tuned. We'll see what's up. I'll call him, let him know I'm in the building, seeking we get some behind the scenes interview. Anyway, it's your boy Town Biz out.